Hey everybody, Andy Cavernan here with another Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional. I wonder, do you ever feel anxious over that which you don't know, which maybe hasn't been revealed to you yet? I'm watching my kids go through high school, and there's some anxiety at times over being, what grade they're going to get on their test. I remember being in high school myself and feeling anxious over which school I would attend, eventually who I would marry, what job I was going to get. We often feel anxious over that which we can't fully predict, that we can't control, right? Well, there's a biblical character named Daniel who was surrounded with things that he couldn't control. In fact, there's a story, Daniel chapter 2, where King Nebuchadnezzar, of course the Israelites are in exile. Daniel is a Jew, he's an Israelite who's in exile in Babylon. And he gets brought into the king's wise men camp, if you will. He's one of them. And he, along with three of his buddies, have demonstrated godliness through this time. But anyways, Nebuchadnezzar has a dream. And he wakes up from this dream, and he calls all of his wise men and magicians together, the ones that one would think the king of Babylon would call, the Babylonians. And to a person, they can't do anything to predict or to even tell King Nebuchadnezzar's dream. He wants them to not only interpret the dream, but he wants them to tell it. He says, anybody worth his salt is going to be able to tell me my dream and then interpret it for me. And nobody can do it. And the king becomes enraged, and he's going to wipe out this whole class of people, all the wise men in Babylon. Daniel hears about this, and he comes, he steps up, and he says, look, bring me to the king and give me a crack at it. And there's this text here, once God has revealed to Daniel the dream and now is beginning to prepare to interpret it for the king, that we get a clue as to Daniel's confidence about that which he didn't know. It says this in Daniel chapter 2, verse 27. Daniel replied, "No wise man, enchanter, magician, or diviner can explain to the king the mystery he has asked about. But," and here's the but, here's the place we're going, "but there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries." And then he says, "He has shown King Nebuchadnezzar what will happen in the days to come." The principle here is not so much the specifics of the dream, at least as we're understanding it here today, but the principle of knowing who his God was. Daniel makes a declaration about who God is. He says, there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries. Now, it's true, friends, that God reveals mysteries at different times and in different ways, and we don't get to control that. But there are a lot of things that we're unsure of these days. What's the spring going to look like? What's the election going to do? When is COVID going to be done? What's the economy going to do? All these things, we don't know. But here's what we know. There is a God who reveals mysteries, and a God who has provided for us, not only for a distant future, but he's providing for us today. And the God who reveals mysteries will do so in his time, in his way. And in fact, he's already revealed the most important mystery. He's revealed the glory of his Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ. And so we can be confident in what Jesus has done as we wait on him to reveal that which we don't yet know. I want to close with Daniel's words here. He gives praise to God in verse 20 of chapter 2. He says, "Praise be to the name of God forever and ever. Wisdom and power are his. He changes times and seasons. He deposes kings and raises up others. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the discerning. He reveals deep and hidden things. He knows what lies in darkness, and light dwells with him. I thank and praise you, God of my ancestors. You have given me wisdom and power. You have made known to me what we asked of you. You've made known to us the dream of the king." And church, I'm confident that as we continue to trust the God who makes known mysteries, let me quote it exactly. He says, "But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries." As we remain confident in the God in heaven who reveals mysteries, all that we need to know will be made known to us as it was to Daniel. God bless you, friends. Let's keep trusting our God together.